It was my freshman year. I turned 14 the month before.
They were the cool seniors who wanted to drive me home.
It's safe. They're my friends.
Don't worry. They're my friends, I thought to myself.
Where are we going?
That's not the way home, I said.
They pulled over on the side of the road.
They took turns assaulting me. They took photos. They laughed. I wanted to scream.
But I didn't scream.
My breasts were exposed.
My body was exposed.
They laughed at my body.
I gave them no permission to even see my body.
And then I don't remember what happened next. But I know I got home.
They carried me to my front door, dropping me off like a UPS package.
I cried all night.
Nobody answered my calls.
So I didn't tell anyone for 9 years.
The next year, in June, it happened again.
It was in my shower.
My mom was home.
Nobody believed me. Nobody helped me.
The system had failed me, and my heart turned to stone.
I was only 14. Raped twice in one school year.
They took photos on their flip phones.
And then word got out.
I lived in constant fear.
Fear of my friends.
Fear of those photos.
I thought that I was the one who should have to go to jail.
No one told me what they did was illegal.
They said I wanted it.
My rapist texted me as I sat in the back of my father's car.
He called me crazy. He called me
A liar.
My dad asked who I was texting.
Oh, it's just my friend.
He was my friend.
I never reported these rapes.
And I never will.
I'll never reveal their names.
I don't want to ruin their lives.
For whatever reason.
I believe that they didn't know any better.
And for lots of good reasons.
I'm afraid no one will believe me.
At least the subway is safe.
After all,
it's full of strangers.
Do you see the problem now? I think what it made me feel was how you can still be taken from that safety at any given moment. So it kind of makes you feel like raw and naked. And how safe you think you can feel in these moments where you're with friends, you're in your house, you're next to your parents, and these terrible things can still happen to you.
I can't imagine going through something like that at the age of 14, let alone going through something like that at all. And just, I think, the naivety that comes with age and thinking that your friends are your friends, and that they could do something so horrible.
The more I hear these stories, I think the more it's evident to me how often this happens. And I think allowing myself to hear them, the challenge has been to not be desensitized. So it's like to hear these stories a lot, you begin to kind of like become numb to it. And I think that the challenge for me is to hear these stories and allow myself to feel every time I hear them, and to never try to shut off that emotional valve that allows me to try to understand or to want to understand what happened.
I don't know about for you, but I think one other thing that surprised me was the time that she waited 9 years to tell her story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was surprising to me because living with something like that for so long on a daily basis, just having it fester inside of you and eat away at you.
Right.
I think everyone has things about themselves that they keep hidden and they don't discuss, whether it be personal or a situation that's happened to them. But 9 years is, that's a lifetime to live with something so personally horrific.
It's like I was never one to even have those type of pictures on my phone, but if I would have seen it, I would just remove myself from the situation. But I realized, looking back at that was part of the problem, was removing myself and thinking that was a way to fight it, as opposed to staying in that position, staying in those rooms and making that room feel uncomfortable to do those things.
When you are 14 and don't understand the legal implications that come with someone violating someone in a sexual nature.
Right.
She didn't know it was illegal.
Right.
And that those pictures were illegal and that they couldn't have been shared, by these seniors.
Yeah. I think Danielle's act of sharing her story in the face of everything is still an act of trust, and it shows how much she's willing to still trust the world.